Well, welcome everybody who's here tonight, and welcome everybody who's online and listening to us. Hopefully we'll actually teach you something. I'm excited to introduce you guys to this new skincare line. I hope obviously you've seen about it or you wouldn't be here tonight, right, or listening. Noon is a really great product line that I think will do well in our office and do well for all of you. I will just go ahead and right off the bat address the elephant in the room of ZO skincare, because I've very vehemently and passionately pushed that and educated patients on that for the last 4 years. I am not getting rid of ZO, so I don't want anyone to feel like that's not going to be an option and suddenly you're just like left in the dust with what you can get. I do have patients that look absolutely fabulous on their ZO skincare. I wouldn't want to change a thing, and I don't think that I would change a thing, much to Dara's dismay, but I'm being perfectly honest that I just think sometimes there's a place for both. You know, when we have more than one kid, you can love both of them, right? I do love both of my kids equally.
I would always love one child more than
I would say that some children may be a little more feisty than others, and maybe that leads into why we might have some options of different skincare. I will say in the group of patients that have used ZO Skin over the years, we've had a small group of people that haven't liked it, small group of people that maybe haven't gotten to where they want to be. They're really happy with their results, but they just haven't gotten over the edge to where they want to be, or small group of people that really just can't push through that retinol reaction. So that's, I think, where Noon will come into play and pair really well to help us achieve all of the results that we want in a more comfortable fashion. So I think this shining star of Noon is they have this DermShield technology that calms the nerves in the skin down so that they're not reactive to acids, not just retinol, which I think is the one that with ZO most patients are familiar with, is very difficult to get through that reaction phase, but all of their acids in their products, which I'll leave to Dara to talk more about, but they can give you really quality results with less reaction. And I think anybody would agree that if we can do something that's going to get us somewhere better, faster, and more comfortably, that's a win-win. I'm all about, like, if we can do things with less pain, I promise you I try. We use numbing, we use ice, we use all the distraction tools we can, because I don't like to hurt my patients, even though I'm often putting needles in your faces. It's a love-hate relationship. So that's kind of where we're at with where we're bringing in Noon. I will ask of all of you tonight that have gotten a kit to please give me your feedback. So one of the ways that I'm going to continue to learn and know how to pair this well for my patients is from your feedback. Whether you've used ZO or something else, whether you're new to medical grade skincare or a seasoned expert, all of you have different skin types and different experiences, and my experience is going to come from your knowledge as well. So all the training and studies in the world can't tell me how your skin is going to do. So you got to give me that feedback. I ask that of you. There are also discount cards in your bags. If we don't have time to talk more in depth about what specifically we might do and recommend for each of you, I encourage you to come back for a free consult, where that discount card can be utilized to get that 10% off purchase. Live stream viewers, I'm sorry that it's not extended to you, but we still encourage a free consult so that we can have that more in-depth consultation, because I can't just blatantly give you all a protocol to use tonight and expect it to work for every single one of you. That being said, Monday, April 4th is a day that we've kind of set aside for consults. So not that dates aren't extended beyond that, but it was a day that we specifically set aside to try to get you guys in quicker, to not make you wait. So if that date works for you and you wanted to book an appointment at the end of the night, our girls are ready to help. While I'm up here, I want to make a really nice announcement. I also think you all know her, but this is Chelsea. She is our new nurse that started with us. She's absolutely fabulous and amazing. She's doing a lot of our treatments right now, and if you are booked with her, you're going to love her. She's learning the Noon as quickly as the rest of us, and she's getting up to speed on ZO too. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask her. And then Rachel, of course, is the one that we'll be booking most of our skincare consults with. And at the end of at the end of Dara's presentation, we'll have a Q&A. So please ask questions. This is your chance to ask questions that I might not be able to answer. So while we have her, let's get all the knowledge that we can from her. And we will also be doing a raffle with your tickets that you have in the bags. Is that correct? Okay, so we've got raffle that we'll do for everybody in person at the end, and we've already drawn our raffles for you live stream viewers. Please stay tuned to the end so that you make sure that you don't miss out on finding out who you are. I already know who you are, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, I think I'm going to turn it over to Dara. Yeah?
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, thank you for having me. Everybody has their wine. I feel like empty glasses. Wine is going to make this my presentation way better. I have a little vodka, so that's even going to be more fun. All right, so most of you know me. My name is Dara Burton. I am your aesthetic account manager for Noon Aesthetics. I've been an esthetician for almost 18 years, and well, we've had a really long relationship. So I think most of you know where I come from. I obviously have a past life that's behind this banner, and I'm forever grateful for that experience. I've really traveled the world and seen a lot of skin, and that's really what makes me able to help, I think, in practices like this, because to Melanie's point, not every skin type's the same, right? Not every patient's not a cookie cutter, like, oh, here's this is going to be perfect for everybody. That's just not how it works. We have hormones. I'm currently taking testosterone. You think I'd be a little buffer and a little skinnier, but I'm not. But, you know, my rosacea is like, hey, girl, and I'm still chubby. So there's just things, you know, and I think all those things have to come into account. Like today, it's hot in here, right? I have rosacea. Rosacea is a disease. I'm red. Okay, that's going to happen. So we're doing things in skincare to help to relax those things, but it's always going to, some things are always going to be with us. So anyhow, so I've been an esthetician for a little while. I live in the Central Valley. So when people say, oh, you have no idea. Girl, I lived in Bakersfield forever. It is hot and horrible, and we all still live here. So let's move forward. All right. So who is Noon? What is Noon? Noon Aesthetics actually manufactures a line of professional medical grade skincare that features what Melanie said, the DermShield technology. And this is actually a patented technology that is in no other product, and it is brand new to the United States. So I was chosen to be part of a launch team, which was really exciting. Just in January. So I'm excited to share this technology with you because it's new to the US, and it gives us the ability to put high concentrations of acids. How many of you want to have high concentrations of acids, right? Most of us are like, yeah, girl, yeah. But we don't want any reaction. Like, I want to eat chocolate cake, steak, a baked potato, and I want to lose weight. It's just who we are. So it's the same thing. Like, I want Melanie to give me something, and I don't want anything to happen except for I want to look hot and skinny. Okay. So here we have Noon Aesthetics. So Noon is really, you know, what is Noon? It's really an ancient philosophical principle describing primordial waters. And what that means is like inherent goodness and all. So Noon actually was born in 2012 in Israel, in Tel Aviv. And that's exciting because all great technology comes out of Israel. They're super smart people. So a lot of like your lasers and devices are actually coming from there. So that's really where Noon comes from. And we want to give you goodness inside a jar, right? I want to spread goodness on my body. So that's really, I think, kind of in a nutshell, about, you know, who is Noon, but who are the founders? I think that's always the question, right? So these two lovely humans are Masha Minkin and Eran Rosman. And this is your CTO, Masha, which is your Chief Technology Officer. And you have Eran, who is our CEO. And Masha is a chemist. And Masha owned medical spas in Israel. And she was just really frustrated with the industry, not being able to, you know, treat patients with high concentrations of acids without the irritation, and that you have like 100 products. How many of you have more than 10 products on your counter? How many of you use those 10 products on your counter? So, you know, there's that. You know, you come into Melanie, oh yeah, I'm using my stuff.
But are you?
Yeah, you're using the 2, and that's, you know, that's a start. So she created this DermShield technology to allow us to use the high concentration, low pH of acids that gives you little to no irritation on the skin. So Eran, he's actually a rocket scientist. So we have quite the pair putting together a brand for us to launch into the United States. What is really cool about Noon Aesthetics, a lot of companies do not manufacture their own product, right? So your grandma writes a recipe and she sends it off to some lab, to someone to formulate it, to put it together, and to do all the quality control. So we actually own our factory, so we make everything. We get raw materials, it comes together. We do all of the packaging. So when you have feedback for us, we truly value that, and we take it directly to, I'm sure it's not Bob at the factory, but we take it directly to our team to then improve those things. And so I think that's huge. The other thing is we own all of our intellectual property. So we're not borrowing technologies from other people. We actually own those technologies. And I think that's truly what makes Noon Aesthetics completely different, that we're able to manage that process. So if you come in and you say, hey, Mel, my pump's not working, or this product is coming out a different color, we just handle that. We don't have to send it off to a bureaucracy of people and maybe get that fixed for you. So DermShield, our technology. So the problem is high-strength therapeutic cosmeceuticals, we want to use the high-potency acids with a low pH, but what does it cause? Stinging, erythema, edema. How many of you want to be red and irritated from your product? Oh, not too many of you. So nobody wants that. I mean, I think, you know, those of us who are in the industry, we're willing to put up with that because we're like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I'm red. This is what you do, but you don't have to. So this allows us to, again, in almost all of our products, that DermShield technology is present. And I want to share with you what it's actually doing. So what is happening? And I think our brain and our spinal cord, we just take for granted our bodies because they're friggin' amazing. Like, we can abuse them with alcohol and totally repair ourselves, and our liver regenerates, and it's just perfect. But we have these, they're called C receptors. And what those are doing is they're telling you when Melanie is hurting you. Right? They're like, hey, she's pumping you up right now. But what's happening is those receptors actually send signals that go through the spinal cord into the brain to give you an impulse to tell you that something is uncomfortable. What the DermShield is it really shuts off those receptors by up to 95%. So it's just like, you're good, girl, you got this. So you don't get the redness and you don't get the irritation. So really a cool technology. I think most of us can agree. Again, if I can give you a product and you're going to get a result and you don't have to be irritated, I think that's really the key. So that's how I ended up at Noon Aesthetics. The technology blew me out of the water. It was like, right, let's see. And it really did what it said it was going to do. So we're suppressing the tingling, we're suppressing the erythema and the edema, and it's really working on what we call the neuralgia, or that neurogenic inflammation, to give you beautiful, healthy skin, because we really believe that everybody deserves that. But we also want you to enjoy the journey of that process, because a lot, I see, the heads like, because it's like, hey, I'm going to go to Hawaii. What do I take with me? Right? Because you're on all these high potency products. Like, girl, you just want to swim. You don't even want to wash your face. You're going to pile on some sunscreen and you're going to be drunk with a Mai Tai. So you might wash your face, you might not. So we know you're not going to do your prescription. Yeah, you guys are drunks. You're little drunks around here, because everybody gets that part. They're like, yeah, okay. So you're not going to take your whole routine. You might stop your prescriptions. So those are all things to think about. With this product, you don't have to do that. You can take it on vacation. All right. Oops. Okay. So everybody got a kit tonight, right? So I'm super excited. Sorry, I'm having a little technical difficulty. But we have what we call hero products with Noon. So products that you just try and you're absolutely going to love, some of which are in your kit tonight and some of which you might want to add into your kits for home use. So lactic acid, Melanie actually had a post this week about lactic acid. How many of you are currently using a lactic acid product? No, not, well, my star student up here in the front, she sure is, because she knows me, so you got to know people. But really, lactic acid is underutilized because high concentrations creates irritation, right? So a lot of times it'd be like a 2% peel that you would come in and receive, but we're putting 10 and 15% lactic into a product. Does anybody know what lactic acid does for the skin? Like, what is a benefit of lactic acid? Exfoliating, yep. We all want to exfoliate. Babies get new skin every 3 to 4 days, and you get new skin your age times 1. It's a long time. Yeah. So we need to speed that up. But what else does lactic do? Anybody? It brightens and it tightens. Who wants to be bright and tight? Girl, I'm working on that because I was just telling Melanie a minute ago, I do not do Spanx. So if you can tighten it up and I don't have to wear those, we're good. I had an altercation with some Spanx. It's a true story. Yeah, we'll save that for the end. But really amazing, and you can use it around your eyes. So one thing I notice with women, it's like, oh, I'm just putting my eye cream around my eyes, or I'm not putting anything, closer to it. And I see all sides of it. We want to be eye safe for sure, but we also want to brighten that area, because as we start to age and that skin starts to thin, we have more darkening because we can see that vascular system. So lactic is amazing, and it's extremely hydrating. So when I hear patients say, gosh, some of you who are oily say that you feel dry, and that's a normal thing because we need to speed up our exfoliation. So you might be feeling that way, but a lot of times we just need some extra hydration, and that's what those products will give to you. All right, so the other thing is anti-aging. So in your kit, everybody actually has an ampule, and I'm going to show you guys all how to use that tonight. So the ampule is going to lift and whiten the skin. So again, I think we all have agreed already, we want to be lifted and whitened, right? So that is going to help with that. It's a serum, so it's a little ampule that you put on. It's very European, so us US folks, we have to get used to using those, so we will teach you how to do that tonight.
Folks are going to have a hard time with it because we're used to ampules being glass. It's not.
Yes, it is plastic. And then,
you can open it safely without gloves.
yes. So I see everybody's actually looking at those, so maybe it's a good time to kind of talk about these. So these are actually incredible. I absolutely love it, but you crack one side to the other, and then there's a little plunger on the back side of it, and you actually depress a drop to the skin. So I do it directly to my face. So it's a drop on my forehead, a drop on each cheek, a drop here, a drop here. The other thing is this is the first step in your directions in your bag, and we will go over that. But one thing I want to make clear, this is going to be after you wash your face.
Okay. And it's also multiple use. Again, medical people don't like using toss.
Yep, you're going to use this every day until it's gone, 4 to 5 drops. So, and one thing, I mean, and we'll get to kind of our cleansers and such too, but how many of you at night are doing a dual cleanse? How many of you are washing your face twice? Some of you, not all of you. But, and I think, we need to be doing that. You need to have squeaky clean skin, because otherwise you just start layering stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. And sometimes some of you, I don't see Tammy Faye Baker in the room, but some of you who might fit that profile, you might need to do a third cleanse. I mean, in all seriousness, you've got to get that makeup off. But we have a really great product called Microsoft to help you get all that makeup and the debris off from the day, and then you can actually wash your face. All right, so anti-aging. So in your kit, I'm going to back up. You also have an in-depth filler serum. So this is a really great thing for you to use, especially when you're having injectables with Melanie. It does have arnica in there. It's going to help with if you're a bruiser, but it's also going to stimulate the collagen and elastin production in the skin. It's going to decrease glycation. So really, the real truth is we're like a grape. Right? When you're a kid, you start out beautiful, like the orchards out here. We never see these beautiful grapes. We see the crummy grapes from around the globe. But you start out beautiful, and then what happens is you turn into a raisin. And what's essentially happening is glycation is happening, right? So there's actually more sugar in a raisin than there is in a grape. And so diabetic patients actually age faster than a patient who does not have diabetes. So it is really interesting. So we want to be using products that have things in them that are going to help us with that glycation phase of life. The other thing we do offer is a trio lift mask. I love this because it's like a date night mask. In 5 minutes, it lifts and tightens things up. So I put it from here to here. Just saying. But it's interesting, but it's also stimulating for long-term collagen and elastin. But if you have 2 dates that week, you could still go here to here. Leave it on 10 to 15 minutes and then rinse it. Beautiful, beautiful product. So retinol, how many of you are on a retinol? In all seriousness, most of you. And how are you guys doing? She says, pump the brakes, girl. Not good back there.
I have not done well.
Okay, what is your side effect?
So that's why, really, why we came to my way. I had to come because I have just had so much redness and irritation. I haven't slept well. I itch. It stings. Like my skin is just so sensitive that I love you, Melanie, and I'm trying.
Yeah.
Thank you for the effort. I will jump in and say something really fast about that is that until now, I haven't had a different option to give you, right? So the only thing I could really say is the results are worth it. The only option I can give you is there's no way to get through to the other side except for through, but it's 2022. And if there's new technology that can do something to get us there, I'm here for it too. That's why we did this.
We're here for the party. Do you have kids?
Yes.
Don't interrupt. Mama's asleep. That's what I know.
The slushing, like the dryness, the cracking.
Yeah, and retinol is retinol.
So you push through.
Yeah, regardless who's retinol, right? Because really, let me just tell you about retinol. Let me give you a little synopsis. So retinol is vitamin A. Vitamin A is the essence of life in every cell of the body. That's 100% the case. We all need it. Your number one anti-aging product is sunscreen. Believe it or not.
Yes.
Okay, you got to be with me or else we cannot be friends. I get rid of friends all day long when you tell me you're not using sunscreen. It's just like, fine. So I'm down to like very few friends because, you guys try to pretend to use it, but you don't.
And it shows. I know.
Yes, you can't lie.
You can't lie about that.
But retinol is so important for us for that anti-aging piece. But I see all sides of it because you want to use it, but you don't want to remain irritated. But the thing is, what retinol is essentially doing is it's dehydrating the keratinocyte, which is the skin cell, and it falls off. That's how that works. So you're putting in a little dehydrator and it dies. So you're still going to have some sloughing from like a little dandruff, but you don't even notice it. So you're not going to have cracks and fissures and that long-term irritation. And our retinol has different ingredients in there. So yes, we have pure retinol in there, but we also have oleopeptide 68, which is also going to help with brightening. So it's really a tyrosinase inhibitor. So it's inhibiting that pigmentation from getting through that kind of trap door. It's almost like the bouncer at the nightclub that's like, girl, you are not 21. And I'm like, yeah, because I've been using my Noon. I know I look good. So there's that to think about. And then also we have in there, it's Edelweiss, which is a powerful antioxidant, which is great, right, for aging. And then we also have, it's called pure fluorocarbon emulsion, and it's actually an artificial oxygen to improve the texture of the skin. Because something that also happens after 30 is you lose that oxygenation to those tissues. So when patients come in, they're like, oh, it just looks so dull. You do, because you're getting old. It's just, it's just what happens. It's a really crummy thing, because let's face it, you have Sam Elliott's and who else? These men that they look great. They get old and it's like, and then when I mention Botox, they're like, excuse me, my wife says I look good. Like, well, write her a check for yours. So this is going to be the step that you need to take for retinol. However, to Melanie's point, it is 2022, and there are new technologies and new advancements come out, and new things come to the United States. Most things happen in Europe before they ever come to the US. They're freaking smarty pants over there. So here we are. We finally have come. We finally shown up. We're finally able to help you. But one thing is we have 3 different potencies of our retinol. We have a 0.3, a 1%, and a 1.6. We're still going to start you on a 0.3. I don't care how amazing you think you are at your retinol. Because a lot of you are like, oh, rip my face off, girl. Do it. You know who you are. And then you do. And you're calling Melanie. I'm going, oh, that's not what I signed up for. And you're like, yeah, you did. So we want to give you something to get started because the goal is to use this also on your neck and décolleté. How many of you are using retinol on your neck and décolleté? Every day? Woo, girl, I like it. So that's the goal, is to get you using it, because a lot of times as an esthetician, my patient would come in and I'd see her in her outfit and she'd put her gown on to lay down to do the facial. And I was like, whoa, girl, you look like a leopard. What happened? Because we're not treating this area. So that's an important area. You should be putting all of your products from your nipples to your forehead. Like, that's where they go. Really, I mean, it's the truth. And I mean, I take it a little bit further because for me, I feel my nipples are a little lower, but I really think, you know, skin is skin. And so when I hear patients bothered by, you know, their keratosis pilaris, or they're bothered by, you know, like their tummy skin or whatever it is, use it there. I mean, for me, skin is skin, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I got the yeah from my gal. So the other thing is Masha, you know, really believes we don't need to have 5 eye creams to get you to where you want to be. And should you be using an eye cream? Absolutely. So we really give you a 5-in-1 answer to treating the eyes. You're able to do around the entire eye to help with puffiness, dark circles, fine lines, wrinkles. I stayed up too late the night before, you know, studying or drinking wine or whatever it was. You know, this gives you that ability to do that. So you should all be on an eye cream. How many of you are on an eye cream? Some of you, not all of you. So we just need to reel in the rest of you. So let me show you a little patient. This is funny. This is actually one of Melanie's favorite products. She whispers it to me. So that's how I hear it in my head when I say it. It's hard to not say it that way. But if you can see the patient, I know we've got some sun coming in, but a before and after of somebody who has some solar elastosis. She's had a lot of, you know, sun. And I'm really of the belief, we have a small farm. I live outside. I mean, I'm there. I was out there at 4 o'clock this morning. I'll be out there when I go home, sun up to sundown. You need to be able to live your life, but you also have to protect your investment because you shouldn't look like you live outside. So this is a great product. Now, this is in your kit tonight, but what I do want to say to you is if you're an oilier patient, we don't need the extra lipid support that this product provides. So it asks for you to use it on your neck and décolleté, that you don't need to put it on your face. Okay, so you can use the in-depth filler serum. That would be great. It's very light. The other thing is after today, you guys can always reach out to us. We're here to help you answer questions and get your feedback from your product. Also for brightening, how many of you feel like you would like to have brighter skin? Most of us. How many of you have pigment or melasma? How many of you are on prescriptions? Some hydroquinone, maybe some tretinoin cream. So we have answers for you. You're going to use this Lift and Whitening Peptide Complex. Vitamin C, our vitamin C is incredible. It actually, for me and like Rachel, we just haven't been able to use your L-ascorbic acid. Everybody wants to use vitamin C. I get phone calls all the time. Oh, I bought this at, you know, whatever drugstore they were at. And the thing is, 1, you're not getting pure vitamin C. And 2, L-ascorbic is an older technology that is actually very irritating. It's like cutting your finger and putting a lemon on it. So we actually provide 2 different types of vitamin C, ascorbyl tetraisopalmitate, and also ascorbic acid 2-glucoside that allows patients who do have acne or do have rosacea, that do have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, to be able to use a product to help to brighten, because vitamin C is awesome. You just have to be using the right vitamin C, because vitamin C from Lassen's isn't gonna do the job, okay? Oh, all of us in this room are beyond that, okay? Just making sure we're all on the same page. Yeah. Sprouts? Well, you're a step up over there, lady. You're a step up over at Sprouts, and you got to knock it off. Okay. The other thing is that I see with patients, especially over 30, we see more and more rosacea. Like, I mean, Mel's diagnosing a lot of, you know, rosacea coming out of this office. And what we have is called our Azelaic Forte that really provides treatment for bumpy papules, and also discolored skin. And we use azelaic acid. And azelaic acid, many of you probably have not heard of it because it really hasn't been used a lot because it's so irritating to the skin. But with our DermShield technology, we're able to deliver that to the patient and give them amazing results, because a 25% azelaic acid is equivalent to a 4% hydroquinone. So that's really powerful. You don't have to stop it in the summer. You can continue to use it year round, which is absolutely incredible. And azelaic acid has so many properties that are incredible: antimicrobial, antifungal. It's a tyrosinase inhibitor. It's a cryolytic, so it's turning the cells over. So all of us need to be exfoliating. And the most interesting thing is with our product is you're not going to, when I have darker patients, we're always worried about, oh my gosh, am I going to make you completely lighter? The azelaic acid only works on the pigmentation that is abnormal. So it's not going to work on your natural coloring. It's going to work on those abnormal discolorations in the skin. So double white, this is actually something I'm on, and I have severe rosacea and I keep it under control, but that includes that vitamin C serum at 11% and our azelaic acid in there. And you can see this patient over here, it's 3 months. Things still take time. I wish I had a magic wand. I would for sure get a tummy tuck and a boob job with that thing. I don't have a magic wand, so I have to just do it like this. So this is going to be 3 months and about, 5 to 7 products depending on the patient. Some protocols might be 1 or 2 products sometimes. So sun protection, I think we already touched on this. How many of you reapply your sunscreen in the day? Not very many. I feel like it's like taxi cab confessions, except for we're like aesthetic confessions right now. So the real truth is, a number of the problems that you come in to see Melanie for, it's because you're not reapplying your sunscreen, or it's in my makeup. I hear that all the time. Your makeup is not enough, okay? Because the SPF 20 or 30 that might be in your makeup, do you know how much you have to put on of that? Like a tablespoon. Yeah, nobody's doing that. Well, maybe someone, but not very many people. So we do have different options. What I actually really love is our Brush and Go sunscreen. I know Rachel's found a love for this. It allows you to not have to get that on your hands. You can simply do it in the car. It's an SPF 50. It's mineral based. It has silver in there, eucalyptus, tea tree. It's a great on-the-go sunscreen. That is going to be amazing for you, because the number one, again, anti-aging product is always going to be sunscreen, because the sun is like a Pac-Man and it eats your collagen. When you were a baby, you produced a lot of collagen, and we have Pac-Man in our skin that eat our collagen because it's getting rid of the old stuff and you're creating new stuff. But let me give you some bad news today. You're not getting new collagen. And then the sun's eating your collagen. So you have to do things to stimulate new collagen growth and do all that. But if you don't put the sunscreen on, it's just going to be this chronic thing. And that's why we start to see that sagging in the skin, and nobody wants that. So these are our kits. You guys all have the anti-aging kit in there. There's also a brochure that has every product and all the information inside of there. You have your ampule, which we showed you how to open, and there is a card that has your morning routine and your PM routine. So make sure to look at that, but always wash your face first. That's your first step, and then you'll move on to your ampule. I will ask you, for the sake of now, I'm sure all of you have different products. Check in with Melanie, but I think the big thing's going to be is making sure that you're not mixing and matching retinols and things like that. So we need to make sure we have a little customized protocol for you, but definitely use the product. Check in with us if you have questions. If you have kids who have acne, I really encourage you to get our acne kit. It's absolutely incredible. In just 2 weeks, you're going to see a complete difference and turnaround in those kids. The number one thing that your kids can do is wash their face. Most of them don't, but we really need to get them doing that. So let me show you a few before and afters of what Noon can do. So again, this was a patient, she was actually a soccer player. She was on Accutane and did not wear sunscreen, 25 years old. So she ended up with some pigmentation along with some melasma. And so we did put her on this for 15 weeks, and it definitely transformed her skin. Again, no prescription products were used for this patient. This patient, she was actually pregnant. We always defer to your physician for pregnant protocols, but she was pregnant and she had pigmentation. And that's a tough thing, right? Because we're pregnant, we already feel bad, so we don't want extra spots on our face. So this was really nice to be able to give this patient some relief in 3 months. This is an aging patient. You can see the pigmentation. You can see that nasal labial fold, and just 3 products. So that's our lactoceramide 15, the retinol charisma, and double white. So just those 3 products make such a change in the skin. But with anything, it's using it. You've got to put the time in. You've got to actually, do the steps. You can't do something 1 or 2 days a week and expect a miracle. I'm still looking for that.
You're like, eat a salad, and you think your skin.
Girl, I do pass by that mirror. I'm like, I look better. I look better. Also, you know, the cystic acne. So if you know anybody who has some things going on like this, those pustules, I mean, again, this is just 4 products, our Retinol Charisma, our Acno Complex, Acno Solution, and Double Fight. It's absolutely incredible. And again, no irritation to the patient. So just to kind of recap, who is Noon Aesthetics? We are really that DermShield technology, high concentrations, low pH with little to no irritation to the skin. We're safe for all skin types, all skin colors, which is exciting. I see some darker patients in the room, and this is exciting stuff. We also have treatments for every skin type. So no matter what you're dealing with or plagued with, we can help you. Acne, rosacea, melasma, hyperpigmentation, sun damage. And again, you don't have to have a ton of products to be able to achieve that, which I absolutely love, because it was to the point earlier when we're like, oh, how many of you have 10 products? And really you're not using 10 products. Also, we're not sold online. So if you love what you find, you have to come back into the practice to be able to get that. And where that's important, because you are not doctors. Okay. I am Dr. Google. I Dr. Google everything. I come in, I know what's wrong with me. I already tell you before. Why am I even here for my appointment? I don't know. But that's a really important thing. You need to be checking in with your provider. You need to be seeing Rachel. You need to be sharing, because again, those things with, you know, hormones or even vitamins, you guys, can make a change in your skin. Biotin's like a big thing, you know, and where I think biotin's amazing, I see a ton of breakout from that. So, you know, and you think, oh, it's some small thing, but it really isn't. It's an important thing. We're also not sold in retail channels, so not in Sephora, Ulta, et cetera. We're only in physician dispensed clinics, which is exciting. And we give phenomenal education and support to the practice. So I'm hoping to have Rachel and Mel in Israel in the near future, which will be exciting to be with our founders. And we also have an app that they'll be using. So we'll help to store some of your information so we can keep track of your protocols and keep checking in and seeing what you're doing and how we need to make adjustments. And then of course, you guys all have your starter kits. So that really is Noon in a nutshell. I'm grateful for your guys' time tonight, and I appreciate you coming, because this is really a new era in skincare, and I could not be more excited to hit the ground in the United States and to share it with everyone, because it's going to change your life. And that's what I'm all about. I'm about changing lives, including my own. So I'm going to hand it back over to Melanie.
Well, before we do, yes, thank you, Dara.
Move it in, he says. Move it in.
Okay, but I want to know first, before we do raffles, if you guys have any questions. This is a good chance. Yes.
If we're on the ZO products, do we just stop those and then start this tonight, or do we have to like take her
Please
off?
repeat the question too.
Okay, so she's asking if she's on ZO products, does that mean she should just stop it and go to the Noon? I'll just be very frank with you and cover her ears while we do this. If you're already on a ZO retinol, I had a very hard time telling myself to stop it, because I had spent so long getting through that reaction phase, and I had gotten through it and I loved my results. So I just kind of have to let you make your own personal decisions. You're all adults. You can, but if that's something that you were worried about, then you got to make your own decisions. If you wanted to not make that decision tonight, take this home with you and hold on to it until you have a chance to come in the office and have more of a consultation. That's also acceptable. But I will also be honest that I had to give it a fair chance before we decided to bring it in, had to make sure I liked it, and all of us liked it. And so I've been exclusively on it, and I did give up the retinol, and I don't regret it. Okay, but shh. What? Yes. Yeah, so she's asking if there's products that we can mix between the two lines. And I do think that that is true. Dara is not going to want to admit this, but as our current or former resident ZO expert, it's my understanding that the products really shouldn't be interacting or contradicting each other, right?
Yeah.
Unless we're like using double things.
I use both as well. The only thing I can't say is, like, I love the pads that ZO still offers that Noon does not. Like,
It's funny you say that.
I will
That's the
use
one
them.
thing I eventually went back to my pad because I really liked my pad.
I like that just to make sure my like the double wash thing, to
Yeah.
make sure I'm okay to put something
A
on
little
it.
self-checker. Yeah, and you guys, that's been my life, right? I mean, I see all sides of it and I know what's on your counters. So I think you just have to be mindful not to mix and match retinols. Sometimes we think like, oh, well, this doesn't give me any irritation, so I'm just going to do this one night and this one night. So I would definitely advise against that and just be mindful of any acids. Don't mix and match acids and retinols. So that would be, I think, really
And so
the
if you
only
felt
thing.
like we wanted to have that consultation to help determine that, we're happy to help you through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does the double white have the same concentration as vitamin C and what's the other one?
So the vitamin C 11S, yes, it's the same, but you're getting the dual chamber. So you're getting the azelaic and then the 11% vitamin C. So you're really getting two products in one.
So it's just the same thing as if you would buy it separate? Or
Yeah, but it's together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the important thing, if anybody does go home with that tonight, I wouldn't want you to be confused. By the way, the question was, are the concentrations of this the same as if we bought them separately? And they are, but you don't mix this. You use chamber A, rub it all in, and then you use chamber B and rub it all in. Capiche?
And let's be clear. Oh, Emily said, oh, but let's be clear too. You guys should really be massaging all of your products into the skin well, regardless of whose product you're using. So you're going to, wash your face in the morning. It's a single cleanse. You should be washing your face for 1 minute, 20 seconds on your eyes, rinsing that, and then putting all your products on and giving time for them to absorb. And I don't mean to just brush them on the skin and brush your teeth. I mean, you need to spend some time working them into the skin before you move to the next product.
So does that mean like, okay, we're gonna massage for a minute, or is there like a set massage, let it sit, give it 5 minutes, move on to the next one? What is the detrimental effect if you move on too quickly? Is it kind of?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you need to massage it in until there's no more slip and glide. And you want to make sure you're massaging up and out. We're not trying to we're trying to defy gravity, okay? We want everything to come back up to Jesus. So that's the real end thing. But the detrimental piece is going to be if it's not massaged in well and you go on to the next thing, it's going to start to roll up because you haven't. It's not that you're diluting it. It's just you're not getting full penetration, and then you're putting another product on and it's not ready for that. And then you start to get some rolling. So you're not
So you
getting the
would
full
know.
benefit.
And you'd be like,
Like if you
It'll
feel
like
start fresh.
Mhm.
roll up,
yeah.
like roly poly off almost.
Yeah, like a sandy feeling.
Okay.
Mhm.
So then you would know. You'd be like, let's just wash my face and start over.
Yeah.
Dara told
Yes.
me.
The filler serum,
Mhm.
can you use that around your eyes?
You sure can.
Yep, can and should.
Yes. So for me, I'm just the person that puts things everywhere because I think what we'll see in women is we see that they don't always put it close enough to their eye. And so we have like a raccoon effect.
Mhm.
We're not bringing it down far enough. Those are great questions. You should be working it to Melanie's point about ugly ears. You should be putting your product on your ears and back behind it. And I'm really being serious because if you ever want to have a facelift down the road, and I plan on it, I mean, you want that skin to be healthy tissue because they're going to cut you there. The healthier the skin is, it's the difference between cutting tissue paper, a burlap sack, right, or a beautiful silk gown, 2-3 different skins. So you want that skin to be healthy.
And I was looking for Dr. Chang, but I will be clear working in an ophthalmology practice that not in the eye, but around the eye skin is fine. I've clarified that with our doctors, even with our most potent products. They're not penetrating and causing any issues with the eyes. Now, different issue, don't get it in the eye. Okay?
Yeah. Don't be taking an Ambien and being
Yeah.
like, hey, girl.
Yes, Laura.
Is there any skin type that vitamin C would not be good on? The vitamin C that you just showed.
Okay, so the question before you answer, because that is a really good question, is if there's any skin type that we should not be using vitamin C on. I'll answer the traditional question, you answer the noon question.
Okay.
So traditionally, vitamin C is very activating to the skin and therefore would be very inflammatory to a more acne-prone patient. So in the past, I would have pulled any acne patients off of vitamin C and not wanted them on it because it would have inflamed their acne. Noon with the, this is you.
Hey girl, I'm wherever you want me to be. Active acne and active rosacea do not do well with L-ascorbic acid.
Yeah.
So vitamin C is not all made the same. Again, there's so many different things. The problem is it oxidizes very quickly once it is open. So the stability of it is also very poor, but it's actually an amazing ingredient. So with the Noon technology and using those, newer technologies with the vitamin C, it allows us to use it and the DermShield on all skin types, even active acne for that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and also rosacea. I use it twice a day and I am less red than I have ever been.
So I'm excited that a lot of my acne patients do have pigment as well, and now we have a product that we can give them that we're not worried about. So we've always felt inhibited in what we can do for acne and pigment-prone people, and now I feel like we can attack that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How does it compare in price to the Zeo products?
Oh, also good question. So I was not motivated by price. My understanding when we were looking into this was that it was comparable. The reality is it's like a touch lower, and thought that was a really pleasant surprise because it wasn't our motivation, but we're definitely not excited about that.
Yeah, we're in line with the industry.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit lower, but when you're buying 5 or 6 products, that adds up, right? Okay.
We had an online question real quick about the kits. Can you just real quick summarize again what the kits are? Are they trial size? Are they regular size? People weren't 100% clear on that.
Yeah, so great question. They are travel size, so they are all TSA compliant, which is exciting. They're about a 3 to 4 week supply. I'm an overuser, so I could kill this kit in 2 weeks. So just be mindful, it's about 2 pumps. They are airless containers, so you do want to make sure that you're clearing the air from them. But and then you can move into full sizes. Full sizes should last you 2 to 3 months, and you should really be purchasing product, regardless of whose product it is, at least 4 times a year, every quarter. If you're not using your products that much and you're not coming in here and buying, your skin looks like shit. So I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything else. I'm sorry.
She couldn't come up with anything else.
That's all.
There's keeping it real tonight.
I don't know.
There are also 3 kits. So there's the anti-aging kit, there's a brightening kit, and an acne kit. So I think by definition, if somebody was purchasing and not taking what you were given, you could pick what you wanted.
Yep.
Can these be refilled?
No.
I don't think they come apart to be able to refill for travel.
No.
Yeah.
But they do
I'm a
have a really
traveler.
nice price point for $99 to be able to do that if you are a traveler. If you are a traveler and you want to replace certain things, just get with Melanie and we can make sure that could happen. Yeah.
Do you have another question? There is. So it's not in the kit. It would be something that you would purchase separately. There's kind of 3. I don't know why I'm looking on the shelf. You have them here.
Yep.
You go over it.
Oh.
I'm not an expert yet. I've announced this.
So we have 3 different options. This is the Microsoft that I was talking about earlier for those of you who wear makeup. Oh, this is heaven. Heaven in a bottle right here. If you're looking for heaven, this is it. It's like honey. You massage it into the skin dry. You don't want to put it on a wet face. You put it on dry. It takes all of your mascara off. If you have eyelash extensions, don't do that because you'll lose those too. And Emily will be very mad at you. But you'll massage it in, then you add water and it emulsifies everything off, and then you rinse. After you do this, then you need to do one of our other 2 cleansers. My favorite cleanser is our Cosmo Clear cleanser. It has lactic, salicylic, and glycolic acid. I want all the acids, thank you very much, with no irritation to the skin. So this leaves you squeaky clean, it's foaming. I just can't say enough about it. But then if you're somebody who maybe, a drier skin type, the C cleanser foam is beautiful. It foams up, but it's a creamy cleanser. One thing, it doesn't do a good job of taking off makeup for patients. So that's why the Microsoft is a better option.
Now, this is an oil, so this cannot be used alone, especially my acne-prone patients. You cannot just leave this like on the skin. You've got to wash afterwards.
Mhm.
So great for taking off makeup, but let's be clear about what the purpose and intent is. You still have to clean.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to our patients that are using like makeup wipes or micellar waters or things like that make me absolutely bananas. And you know who you are. But it makes me crazy. So I think the Microsoft is a great place to replace that because you're doing healthier things for the skin. Like the macadamia in there is really an anti-inflammatory. So our goal is to reduce inflammation in the skin to stop that, process from aging.
Is there anything else?
Did you have a
anyone
question?
online?
I was more like a hyperpigmentation thing, like a hormonal postpartum sort of darkness around areas versus like a sunspotty type thing?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have is there a product that works well for more of the hormonal, you just had a baby, your face is messed up, versus
Girl, your whole life is messed up. I'm sorry.
versus I just don't be wearing my sunscreen?
No. Can you tell I don't have kids? No. I think it's a great question because there's a lot of different pigment out there. And I think that's something that needs to be evaluated.
More of a consult type thing.
I do think, because it all comes into play, your skin type, your condition.
But the answer is yes, though. There are products that are going to, but it's more of not just like a one and done. It's going to be something that we address with different things. But absolutely, we would pick the right protocol to address the right type of pigmentation. And sometimes that's multifactorial. Patients may have melasma, acne, sunspots, and the inflammatory pigmentation from their old acne breakouts. That's fun. And wrinkles. Did I miss anything? And sadness. And we need to go have a
lots
cocktail.
of wine. Yeah, lots of. All my moms become drunks after they have kids. I don't know what happens, but another thing that I do want to touch on. I told Melanie I was going to touch on it. I think my irritation with patients is that we think it's just one thing, one product. I'm going to take this home. It's going to change everything. It's one in-clinic treatment. It's not. It's all of it together. I mean, Melanie jumped me, her and Rachel, they put me in the corner and they were like, you're coming in for a BBL tomorrow at 8:30. I'm coming in tomorrow at 8:30.
So tell her she has to drink her own medicine here. Okay, so we can send you all with this fabulous skincare tonight, but it's not going to take care of your wrinkles related to muscle movement. It's not going to put volume back in your face where you've had just aging processes happen. It's not going to get rid of your rosacea necessarily. It's going to be a component of it. Yeah. But by the same token, the BBLs are not going to be the cure-all for your rosacea if you're not taking care of it at home. So this is sort of a little bit in office and a little bit at home is going to be that blend of what gets you really where you want to be. Because I can do everything here, but if you're washing your face with micellar water and Pond's, then you look like it when I see you back in 3 months for your Botox, okay? I can tell.
Yeah. Oh, God. Look, don't even use that on your feet. And
you give that to someone you hate.
Yeah. So I go into my friend's bathroom and I look. I'm not looking through your cabinet for pills. I'm looking to see what your skincare is. Okay.
Okay. You can invite me to your house and I'll respect your privacy.
I'm not. I'm like, what is she doing? Why are you using this? I come out drunk elephant. What the hell? Oh, and I'll call you out. So.
Are there any more online questions? Okay. I'm going to grab the raffle winners really fast. Thank you.
Oh, everybody's checking their ticket.
Okay,
well, I'm gonna put you closer.
And where
to
are
the
the
camera.
tickets? You want to grab that for me? Okay, so the first two are going to be for our viewers at home, and I hope they're all still tuned in and didn't get bored. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not boring.
Did I say you were?
She just said, I hope they didn't get bored.
Oh,
okay.
She took offense.
How quickly can I expect to see results after I finish my kit? Will it be noticeable?
It depends on how jacked up your skin is.
I think that's a loaded question because what are we expecting out of our results? Are we expecting like a cure-all in a matter of weeks from this? Or are we expecting an improvement that encourages you to continue going because you're going to get more the longer you're on it? So let's be realistic about what those expectations are. Okay, so should you be looking worse after a few weeks? No, but should you be noticing I like it, I'm seeing some improvement, I want to keep going? I would expect that. Now, it's too small to show you all, but I do have fabulous pictures of my niece. So we tested this on a few people before we tried it out because we wanted to make sure we liked it. This wasn't just like, oh, let's bring it in and let you all be the dummy or the guinea pigs. So my niece, being one of them, sent me her results on the acne kit after 1 week. And I was just like, okay, I'm sold. So I have a friend back there who tried it, and she was the first person to give me feedback to say, I love it. When can I buy it? And I was like, I don't know if I placed an order yet. Give me a minute. So it's so far people have had really good feedback, and that's been in a short amount of time. So to answer that, in a short amount of time, I expect you to notice something, but I don't expect a cure for melasma. Please.
It's not a facelift. If you need a facelift, you need a facelift.
Okay, so for our online viewers, the winner of the anti-aging kit, which is what everybody has tonight, so you heard a lot about the products, Kelly Capilla. Yay! Thank you guys for your excitement for her. Oh, sorry. Wrong camera. Yes, so message us on social media. That way we can make sure to set aside your kit so you can pick it up from the front desk and claim it. Okay? What's that? Or email. DM or email. Kelly. And the winner of the BBL, the photo facial treatment, is Julie Palmer. Yay! So make sure you message us, email, DM, so you can make sure you get to claim your gift and schedule treatment. Okay, and then for all of you, the first thing we're giving away is microneedling. So before I do it really quick,
Yeah, you better get your tickets out.
there's
Right out.
yeah, because there's X amount of you and one treatment that I'm giving away, but with PRP. So this is a $600
Stakes
value.
just got real high. She
Yeah.
put her trolls out right now.
Yeah, so she's clearly had this. She knows what it is. She loves it. If you're not the one individual that I'm about to announce, we do have a special going on beginning tomorrow for the month of April. If you book your microneedling with PRP with Chelsea, who's been doing an absolutely fabulous, amazing job, it's a $600 treatment, but you would get $100 back in an Empire gift card that you can use for skincare. Oh, and a Zeal gift. That was really awkward.
But
Wow.
you'll just give that to your friend.
Yeah. Okay. So,
And you might not like
anyways, there's that. There are still options for you guys to take advantage of. All right. The 262, probably everybody, 879. Yes! I love it. Okay. So, wait till the end. And he's got the themes. Okay. Next is a BBL. So, another photo facial treatment.
I can't say enough about these. If you're not doing it, you need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are amazing treatments. 874. Yay! The Snaggy. Okay, that's exciting. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one more. And this is my favorite giveaway maybe tonight. There's the little inside joke is that I tested a product when she came to show us things and it felt like silk on my hands and I wanted it. And I was mad that when she gave me full-size product, she didn't give me the filler cream. So I kept whispering it to her that day, like, filler cream.
And
So I can't say it without a
whisper.
whisper. And the person going home with the filler cream is 876. Yay! I love it.
All right.
For you, neck and chest. Okay. Okay. But you will like it. It'll be great.
But you can,
Yeah. Okay. So find us, Rachel, myself, Chelsea, Dara, if you have some questions. If you want to book because you know you need a little bit more in-depth conversation about what to do, go see Angie or Naya, and we'll get you booked. Monday, we've set aside specifically, which we don't usually have availability that quickly. But if that doesn't work, then find something that does. Also, more wine and food.
Yes, and for those of you, make sure that you're following us. I'm sure you all follow Melanie, but feel free to reach out to my Instagram DM if you have questions about what's in your kit or you can't get your ampule open or just anything at all, please. So it is dara.noonaesthetics.
It's really small right there.
Wow.
Dara.noonaesthetics.
Because I thought you were already following me, so I didn't think you
It's
needed
very
it in
presumptive
bold.
of you. Okay, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody online for tuning in and bearing with us and learning. Excited to see where it goes.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.